Hi everybody, this is our first video of our channel. Myself Michael Benny from Unified Tech. So this video is about to explain you about what is data center. So nowadays we people, that is IT guys, we will be searching for more number of jobs, and we don't know how to get a better job for our required skills, right? So as a fresher, so when you are as a fresher, so you don't have any idea of that where you are going to get a job, right? So to accomplish that, so to give an awareness, so we have started a training program. So this video is just a sample video, and if you need to know more about this and if you need to learn about this, so you can reach us on our website, that is you can reach on our particular mobile number, which will be available in the description of this video. So let us get into this particular task. This is a welcome class by Unified Tech, so let us get into the session. So first of all, so we need to know what is a data center. So actually if you are a IT tech guy, so there are two different platforms we are having. One is IT software side and one is IT infrastructure side. So nowadays all companies are working with the help of data. So all companies are working based upon their data. So data is the main key factor we are having over here. So that's why in every company we will have a data center. So data center is nothing but it is a collection of hardwares which will store data, manipulate data, and it will maintain and secure our data. So that is the main thing of data center. So for example, so you will be opening a website and you will be typing a website and you'll be getting some web page, right? So that particular web page from where you are getting is there is some data center around, there is a data center available in our world in somewhere. So from there you will be having one server in a data center. So that server will be configured as a web server, and in that the HTML page will be loaded. So from there you are getting the web page from your browser. So that is actually happening via internet. So basically, so data center will have a server or otherwise it will have a storage, it will have a network devices. Mostly all data center will have these three things. So in this video I will explain one by one what is server, storage and network devices. So let's go to server. Server is nothing but it provides a service to the clients. In case, so you might be having a desktop or a laptop in your home, right? So you'll be normally working, or normally you will be playing with some video games, or you will be doing some documentations with your laptop or desktops, right? But in an enterprise manner, enterprise in the sense in a company, if you're going and if you're doing the same thing in the company, so the company won't allow, right? So how they are monitoring that? With the help of a server. So they will be configuring a server and they will be restricting some kind of permissions for the client machines. So you can able to log in and you can do the required works which company is allowing you to do. So you can able to do only that thing. So apart from that, if you are doing some other things, there will be a restricting AD will be there. There is a Active Directory services will be there. Some group policy will be there. So in that group policy they will be doing some permission restrictions, so that you can't able to play a game, or you can't able to install any kind of softwares in that particular machines. So like normal operating system, you are having a special operating system for servers. For example, it is a it might be a Windows 2012. It is a latest version. So in Microsoft, so the most latest version is Windows 2016. So this is one kind of server operating system in case of Windows based machines. In the case of Linux, it is RHEL. So RHEL is one we will call it as Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So it is used for Linux based machines. So these are the different types of operating systems that we are having for servers. So in this we will enable the services in the sense if you need to maintain a mail server, so for that you have to enable that service, and that server will act as a mail server. If you want to make that particular server as a DNS, then you have to enable the service of DNS, then it will work like a DNS server. So this is all about the server. Server is mainly to provide some kind of services, to restrict some kind of services, and monitor the client machines. So the architecture and things will be explained in another video. So this video is only a basic introduction of a data center. So what is data center and what kind of things will be there. So next time, according to its physical structure, server is divided into 3 different types. One is rack server, another one is tower server, rack server, tower server, blade server. So the first thing, so here you can able to see the first server is the rack server. So you can able to see it is in a horizontal position, right? So that thing we will call it as a rack server, and center one, that we will call it as a tower server. So it will look like a normal CPU, but it will have some other speciality in that particular CPU. So these are all CPU only. So the name is server. Okay, so the first one is rack server, the second one will be a tower server, and the third one it will be a blade server. So you might ask, so what is the difference between a rack server and a blade server? You might ask that question. So what is the difference is, a rack server will have only one single particular server, that is only a single machine. You can able to say it as a single hardware, single machine you will be having. But in the case of a blade server, you will have multiple chassis. So here you can able to see. So let me take a pen if I can. So just a minute. Okay, I'll choose some other color. We'll choose violet. Okay, so in this, so this is one chassis, this is a one chassis, you can able to see that. So this is a single chassis. Like this you will have multiple chassis. So each one chassis will have one server. This we will call it as a blade server. But in the case of a rack server, it is a single hardware. You will have only one server will be installed in that particular hardware. But in the case of a blade server, you will have multiple servers which will be installed in the same machine. You will have a different chassis. In each chassis you will install one server, right? So in advance, in a rack server itself, you can install multiple operating systems, but that is a different concept, that is comes under a virtualization. So in upcoming videos we will explain you what is actually a virtualization. Okay, so let me move upon to the next slide. And with the different types of service, again server is classified into some more categories. So I have just covered some important servers in this particular series. So those servers are mail server, proxy server, web server, application server, database server. So you might ask, what is a mail server, proxy server, web server, application server, and database server? So one by one I will explain. So mail server, so for example, you might be working in any organization, or otherwise just leave it, or otherwise you might have logged into your Gmail account, right? So there you will be having something called as, with the username you will be having something called as @gmail.com, right? So that is called as a domain name. That particular domain is maintained with the mail server. So from that mail server you will be enabling the you will be using some other tool called MS Exchange or Zimbra. You will be using that particular softwares to maintain that particular mail incoming and outgoing things. So there are some other concepts like SMTP, POP3, IMAP, these things are available. So there you will be maintaining that particular things in that particular server. So you will be enabling that particular service in that server. So normally you will be installing that base operating system, that is Windows 2012, you will be installing it, or otherwise you will be installing RHEL. So upon that you will be enabling the service of mail. So then it will act like a mail server. So there you will be doing some other configurations for working that particular server for a mail service. Okay, so that things we will be explaining you in the upcoming videos, but right now I'm just giving you an idea. So what is a proxy server? For example, proxy server is nothing but, so in your house environment, if you are having an internet and you can able to access any kind of websites with at mobile or with your laptops, right? But in an enterprise, how they will restrict in both ways. One is they will make a policy in a firewall and they will block those websites. So if they are blocking it in a particular firewall, then what will happen is the entire organization will not have that access to access particular website. So that is the main thing, that is very strictly restricted with the firewall. But in the case of proxy server, so if you are installing a proxy server, what will happen is, so let us consider you are a L1 employee in the sense you are in a help desk and you are having a manager, team leader and SME or L2 managers you are having. So what they will create is they will create some different kind of proxies, so with a single proxy server. So they will make some different unique identities. So they will do that configuration, they will upload it with your server and they will push that particular policy to the client machines. Now what will happen? So for example, now this L1 engineer, that is the help desk person, can only access the internal websites of the organization and not able to access or not able to browse any other social media or any other websites which is available in the internet. So that kind of restrictions will be created with the help of a proxy server. But for manager, these restrictions will not be there, but some other restrictions like he cannot play a video or he cannot download like that kind of things will be there. So this can be done with the proxy server, because this cannot be done with the firewall. Because if you are restricting a particular website, access of a particular website, so this is going to be strictly restricting that particular website itself, so no one can access it. But in the case of proxy server, they can restrict with the levels of the people. So that is the difference between a proxy server and a firewall. Okay, and web server, so this is the first of all I have explained, right? So the same thing. So with the help of a web server, what you can do is you can install a server, you can create a website, and you can assign one public IP address. You can assign one a public IP address, and for that public IP address you can purchase one name resolution. You can get a proper certificate for that, and you can purchase a proper name for that. So now what you can do is you can create your own HTML page. You can create your own HTML page and you can publish that particular website to the outside internet world. So that is called as a web server. So normally you are having something, or you are creating some organization you are going to run, and you want to create your own website. So for that, what you will do is, first of all, you will purchase one public IP address, and for that public IP address you will purchase one relevant name resolution license. You will be purchasing that. Then you will be creating your HTML page and you will be hosting that in the particular server. So this is the actual thing. So you might ask, so what is public IP address and what is name resolution? You will be asking these questions. So for these questions we'll be providing the answers in the next video. So because these are advanced topics and this cannot be covered in this video. Okay, so this is just I'm giving an idea. And what is an application server? So application server is like in some organizations you might have heard Tally software, right? So what they will do is they will not install the Tally software in all the devices, in all the machines. They will only give the interfaces. The actual software is installed only in the server. So what are the changes they are doing, it will be replicated immediately within the server. So this is the application. So for a real-time example, I can say like, so you are going to an ATM machine and you are withdrawing some money. So at the fraction of second, this money will be deducted in your main account itself. So you will be having some server around your branch in your head office. There your particular account is maintained. So whenever you are taking money, you're withdrawing your money from anywhere in this world, so immediately it is getting deducted, right? So that is like, so you are having only the interface, the changes which you are doing here, which will be replicated immediately in the main server. That is called as an application server. That is what the main application will be available in the server, and the clients will get an access to access that particular application. This is called as an application server. And database server is nothing but, so centrally you will have one server, you will push all the informations, you will give all the details, everything in that particular server. So whenever a client needs information from the database, he will request from the server, and the server will provide the corresponding information to that particular query. So it is like in a school, you will be enrolled within the school, and the school will be collecting the details of your information, like your name, age, and your addresses. These are not saved under a single machine, right? So it will be saved in a server. So whenever another teacher or another staff is searching for your information, she will be using some other some other machine, right? So from there, if she is typing your name, immediately all the details of your thing will be appear, right? Your marks, your date of join, everything will be appear, right? So that is a database server. So centrally managing us in all the information is called as a database server. So this is the most commonly used servers which I have mentioned over here. Apart from this, we are having some more servers like file server, print server. We are having those kind of servers is also available. So when time comes, I will explain those things also, but right now this is enough for this. The next thing which is available in a data center is storage. So without storage, data center is nothing, because we are using the data center only to store or manipulate or share the data all across the world. So that is mainly the task of a data center. So for that you would need n number of storage. So it is not like you are having a desktop and you are having 500 GB of hard disk. That is not the case. In the case of data center, you will be having a number of TBs. You will be having a storage of TBs only. So it will not be in a GB storage. It will be only in TB kind of storage things only. So what kind of storage you will be saving? As usual, it will be a video. So if you are using a web server, and if you want to make that web server as a streaming server, then you will be using a storage, right? So you will be uploading the videos in the storage, right? So that is the thing in the storage you will be using for streaming servers. So videos, it might be images, or it might be a database. If you are using a database server, then obviously you need it, right? So nowadays we are having different types of storage devices, but especially in data centers we are using tape drives or hard disk or SSD, that is solid state drives only we are using. Tape drives are used in olden days. It is used. It is like a you will be having a cassette, right? Tape cassettes you will be having, right? So that kind of thing is the tape drives. But nowadays in advance we are using only HDD and SSD. So now we will see what are the different types of storage we are having. So we are having 3 different types of storage devices. The one is direct attached storage, network attached storage, and the storage area network. So you might ask, so you have given a heading like types of storage, and we thought like you will be going to say like it will be a CD, it will be a DVD player, or it will be a pen drive or something else, right? You might have think in that manner, right? But it is not the case. But in the data center we will use only these 3 kinds of storages only. So what is direct attached storage? Direct attached storage is nothing but you are having a machine and a storage, that is your hard disk is directly attached with your device. That is called as a direct attached storage. So then you might ask, what is a network attached storage and storage attached storage area network, right? So network attached storage is nothing but so whenever you are using a hard disk, so if you have done formatting or if you have done installation of operating system, then you might have known this. What you will do, the first setup you will do with the hard disk is you will be formatting it, right? So it will ask NTFS, FAT32, which kind of file system I have to use, that kind of thing it will be asking you, right? So you will be selecting NTFS, right? So what is that NTFS? So NTFS, it is a file system. So you are having a storage, and you want to store an information on that particular storage device, right? So in which manner you are going to store that data in zeros and ones, right? So from where it needs to start and where it need to store the data, and how it is going to retrieve the data with the help of a file system only, it is going to do that. So there are two different types of formatting we are having. One is low level formatting and high level formatting. Low level formatting is done in the manufacturing area, that is the manufacturer, when they are creating a hard disk, so they will do some low level of formatting. So in low level of formatting, what they will do is they will create one file system, that is manually they will create some physical tracks and sectors they will create on the platters. That is in hard disk you will have some CD like thing, right? So that we will call it as a platter. So in that platter they will draw one concentric circle and the vertical lines, that we will call it as a tracks and sectors. So I will explain in depth in the storage class, but right now I'll just give an idea, so that you will have some, you have to do some research on it. So once you see this video, then you have to go and you have to browse it, then only you will understand that. So the things which I am explaining over here, so you will just hear it, but you doesn't feel that. So some things you will not understand, and you will have the eager to do that, right? So just do a browse and search what is that. So that is the good type of learning. Okay, so this is the thing which is actually happening in a storage. So upon that, so we customer, what we will do, we will purchase that hard disk, and when we are attaching to our device, and we will do again a formatting, we will do a file system formatting. So we will select NTFS or FAT32, something else, whatever it is, whatever file system we are following, we will select that and we will format that. So that formatting we will call it as high level formatting. It is a logically we are going to create tracks and sectors. So I will show you what is the tracks and sectors, don't worry, in the next video. Right now it is enough for this network attached storage. And what is the storage area network? So I'll just give an example between network attached storage and storage area network. So in network attached storage, what actually you are doing is, so let me take my pen. So I'll take a black color itself. Sorry, 1 minute. So I hope now it is drawing right now. Okay, so that is, here you are having a storage, and upon this storage, what you are doing, high level formatting you are doing a high level formatting, that is a file system. Then you are sharing that particular file system, then you are sharing only the file system, you are sharing the file system in a network for the end users. But in the case of SAN, that is storage area network, what you are doing is you are having a bulk of storage devices, that is you will have hard disk 1, hard disk 2, hard disk 3, and these 3 hard disks are converted as a pool, and it will be shared over a network. So now what is happening is, so now you are sharing that particular raw device via network, and the client is formatting with their file system. So just again just listen again, so I'll explain again. So in the case of a NAS, that is network attached storage, what actually you are doing, you are purchasing a hard disk and immediately you are formatting with a file system, it might be NTFS. Then what you are doing is you are sharing that particular formatted file system hard disk with the network. So this is actually happening with the NAS. But in the case of storage area network, what actually you are doing, you are purchasing a hard disk, then once you purchase that hard disk, you are connecting with the network. So you are connecting with the network and you are sharing that hard disk via network. Then we vendors, that is we customer, what we are doing is we are formatting it with an file system and we are using for our application. So this is the difference between NAS and SAN. So you might ask, so how we will connect a hard disk with an Ethernet cable? So for that we will use some other type of techniques. So I will explain you those things in the upcoming videos. So right now, if you have interest, you just search it. You just search it in Google and you will get some answers for it. So if you are having that answer, please do comments under this video, so that I will come to know that you have done some research from your end. So this is all about the storage devices. So let us go to the next slide. So network devices. So what is a network devices? So we have now we know what is a server, what is a storage, and what is a server operating system. So now we are going to implement a data center, and now we have purchased a server and we have installed an operating system and we have got a dedicated storage for it, and everything is ready, and you are going to implement a web server. So now that web server, so it need to reach that internet, right? So what things you can able to do? You can just connect a modem, so that thing you can able to do, or you can purchase internet connection from BSNL or whatever connection you might get from your area. You can get it and you can directly connect it, right? But in data center, the same thing we are going to do, but with the help of different network devices. So here mainly we will use 3 or 4 network devices. So I will list it out. It is switch, router, firewall, load balancer. So I will explain you one by one everything. So what actually we are doing is we are connecting our devices. We are connecting our devices in the switch. So switch, what actually it is doing, like it is a shared hub. We can say it is a shared hub, but actually it is not a hub, because it is a intelligent device. So it is a plug and play device. So we will be connecting all our client machines, and it will be connected to a router, and from router we will be connected with the ISP. ISP is nothing but internet. From there we will be getting an internet connection. With the help of these devices only, we will create a LAN topology or a WAN topology. So I will explain you what is LAN and WAN in another video, but in this video it cannot be covered. So I will explain you later for that. So what are the different types of network devices we are having? So switch, router, firewall, load balancer. So what is a switch? So you are having a 10 number of machines. For each 10 machines, you cannot able to get dedicated internet connection for it, right? Or otherwise, if each of the 10 machines need to communicate with their own with the nearby machines. So what you can do is you can get a switch, you can connect it, and you can make a LAN connectivity with the help of a switch, so that the internal communication can be done for all the 10 machines. So this can be acquired with a switch. So now what is the help of a router? So with the help of a router, we can connect 2 different networks. 2 different network in the sense. So let me take a pen again. So this is a router. So normally it will be said as a gateway. So it is a router. So let us say this is the internal network, this is the external network, that is network 1, network 2. So these are 2 different networks. So here the IP address will be private, here the IP address will be public, right? So these 2 networks need to be communicate, right? So for that, what it will do is the router will make the communication between different types of networks. So that is the router. So if you need to communicate with different network, then you need to install a router. Then you might ask, what is the case, what is the need of a firewall, right? So this is a firewall. This is here it is mentioned like ASA firewall. That is in Cisco we are having a ASA firewall. That is a very special and very effective firewall which is provided by Cisco. So I will explain what is Cisco in the later videos. So right now it's just a firewall. It's just a firewall. What actually it is doing is, so from internet. So if you are an organization and if you are growing very high, right? If you are growing very high in a short term, so your competitors will do some research on you, right? So they will try to enter into your network. They will try to enter into your network and they will find what is your secret, what is your secret business you are doing, and what is the success of your company. Like that, they will be doing some some kind of things with their hacker team. So from restricting those traffics, from restricting those access from the outside internet world, so we will be installing the firewall. So now what will happen is, if any hacker tries to come into our private network, it will be restricted in the firewall area itself. So this is the main thing of a firewall. And load balancer, you might ask, what is a load balancer? In the name itself you can understand, a load balancer is used to maintain the network traffic of an organization. That is, normally you will be getting only one public IP address from the internet, from the ISP, so it will be configured in the router. So you will be having, let us take, you are having 1,000 number of clients, and each 1,000 people are going to access the internet, right? So then think how much load will come in a gateway. So for that you have to use some load balancer thing, right? So you need all 1,000 employees are trying to access the internet, and you as a network engineer or a network person, you need to know which traffic need to be given preference. So for a server, the preference will be high, right? So like that, the load balancer will be there, and there you will be configuring those things. So this is all about the data center. So it is just an overview of a data center. So apart from this, there are a lot of things you need to learn if you are going to getting into an IT infrastructure style. So there are n number of opportunities for this. You can, if you need to learn about network, then you can able to go choose your domain as a network, and you can get a job in as a network engineer, or you can choose to learn server. It might be a Windows server, or it might be a Linux server. If you're choosing Windows server, you will be a Windows admin. If you are a Linux server, you will be a Linux admin. So like this, various platforms you are having in IT infrastructure side. So thank you guys. So this is all about this video. So if you like this video, just subscribe this particular channel, and please click on the bell symbol also, so that if I post any videos, you will be getting the notifications. Thank you, and please do comments on this video so that I can improve the video quality as well. Thank you so much.